And we welcome a new audience, those of you that just watched USC take down UCLA in the Beach Volleyball Championship. Welcome in to the farm. Ben Ross with you on the Pac-12 Network. Cal and Stanford opening a 3-game baseball series from Sunken Diamond. Austin Turkington, the opener for the Bears. Here's the lineup that he'll be facing for the Cardinal as we're scoreless heading to the bottom of the first. Owen Cobb, Ethan Hott, and Court McDonald. And then you get to the big power bat, Malcolm Moore, 4 home runs in last weekend's series against Oregon. Jimmy Nadai, Brandon Larson, Jake Sapien, the DH, Trevor Haskins, and Timo Becerra round out the order for David Esker's club. And again, it's a Stanford team that got off to a slow start this year. They obviously lost a lot of pieces from last year's team that made it to the College World Series. But they're starting to find their stride right now. Their last 15 games, this is an offense that's batting .320 and has hit 25 home runs for the season, averaging about 5.5 runs per game. And they will be going against Turkington and then likely Luke Short to follow for Cal. Owen Cobb leading things off. Takes a strike at 92 miles an hour. Cobb, a senior, batting .296, 7 home runs, 12 doubles, and 30 runs batted in. The grad student from Seattle. Little looper down the right field line. That's going to be foul and gets out of play, 0-2. Cobb is one of those bats who's been hot as of late for the Cardinal. He's hitting .351 in Pac-12 play. Remains 0-2 on the foul ball. So Turkington has been successful in this opener role. He's done it 5 times, just allowed 1 earned run in those 5 innings. Nice job by Cobb to get a piece, and it remains 0-2. Turkington, a sophomore from Los Gatos, went to Bellarmine College Preparatory. Talking to Cal head coach Mike New during the week, he's kind of the mindset of, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This opener thing has been working on Fridays, and might as well let it ride. You've won 9 games in a row. As the count 1-2 on Cobb. Another foul ball. Nice at bat here for Cobb. First of a 3-game series from Stanford. The big series. Always a lot of fun when these two Bay Area rivals come together. 2-2. Good take on the 84-mile-an-hour slider. Turkington exclusively from the stretch, as a lot of relievers will be. And another foul. Cobb really doing a nice job fighting off some tough pitches this very first at bat. He's one of the few returners from last year's team for Stanford. He hit 9th for most of last year. He's now moved to the leadoff spot. Had a really nice year last year, and he's continued it this season, but kind of a new role as one of the leaders. That's strike 3 called. And so Turkington wins the battle. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from the right-hander for out number 1, a 9-pitch at bat. And that'll bring up Ethan Hott. The defense for Cal, Jack Burton getting the start in left field. Rodney Green Jr. is in center, Seth Gwynn in right. Across the infield from third to first, it's Max Handren, P.J. Moutsouridis, Jaron Advincula, and Peyton Schultz. Caleb Lomavita behind the plate as he receives strike 1. Hott, a .308 hitter, making his 24th start of the year. 0-2. About 60 degrees and windy here at Klein Field. That's looped into left center field for a base hit. So Cal had a one-out single in the top of the first. Stanford answers with a one-out single in the bottom half. And Ethan Hott is aboard. Now the wind kind of blowing in from center field, so that could certainly play into pitcher's favor. It looks like it might take a lot to slug one out tonight. As Court McDonald, the batter, and Cal puts the infield shift on him. Takes low for ball one. McDonald, a .341 hitter, 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Ethan Hott has stolen 3 bases in 5 attempts this year. Check swing. They'll look down to third. He held up. Umpires tonight, Patrick Riley calling the balls and strikes. Stephen Corvey at first, Mike Lusky at second base, and Randy Sutton at third. McDonald ahead in the count, 2-0. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. McDonald, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas. And a throw to first. Nice scoop over there by Schultz, as that ended up on a hop, but he was able to snag it. McDonald is just a great all-around athlete. A kid who played 5 sports in high school. A little tapper to first. That'll be foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So McDonald played baseball, obviously. He played basketball and football. He played golf and track and field. I don't know how he had any free time to do his homework and get into a school like Stanford, but he found a way. Two balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here, bottom of the first inning. And that's outside, full count. And the dangerous Malcolm Moore lurking on deck. So this becomes a big pitch early in this game. We'll see if Hott is on the move from first. Turkington ready. Hott bluffs, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning for Turkington. And now here is Malcolm Moore. The reigning freshman of the year in the Pac-12, a freshman All-American last year. Comes in hitting .244, 12 home runs, tied for 4th in the Pac-12, and 28 RBIs. Strike one. Well, what a catcher matchup we've got in this game. You see them both right there. Malcolm Moore for Stanford, Caleb Lomavita for Cal. Both guys who are projected to be high picks in July's Major League Baseball draft could both be first rounders. As the 0-1 pitch, a little outside. Steve Kroner of the San Francisco Chronicle wrote a great piece a day or two ago about Moore and Lomavita, the relationship they have. They talk a lot, kind of root each other on, even though they're going to rival schools. That's on the corner, 1-2. We mentioned the weekend that Malcolm Moore had against Oregon last series, 4 home runs, including 3 last Friday night. He was nominated for the Pac-12 Player of the Week. It ended up going to Seth Gwynn for Cal. Runner goes as that's chopped foul. And the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's, we talked about a different role for the leadoff hitter, Owen Cobb. It's certainly that this year for Malcolm Moore as well. Last year as a freshman, with all the talent, all the upperclassmen on that Stanford team and in the lineup, he kind of could blend in a little bit more. Didn't stand out. As that's just a little roller in front of the plate. Fair ball. Nice play by Lomavita, who gets him. So Moore, one of the focal points this year, but he's retired in the first. And we're through one at Stanford. No score. No score as we head to the top of the second inning from Stanford. The Cardinal and the Cal Bears opening a 3-game series. Ben Ross with you on the Pac-12 Network. Thanks for spending part of your Friday night with us. Matt Scott back out for his second inning of work. He'll face the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Golden Bears. Peyton Schultz, Max Handren, and the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week, Seth Gwynn. As Cal looking for their 10th straight win. They have been red hot. Before this streak, they were just a little over 500 at 16-14. They were 5-10 in conference play. All of a sudden, they're now 25-14 and 11-10 in the Pac-12 as they look to get back to a regional. Schultz having a good year, .331, 5 home runs. Scott staring in through the glove. And his first pitch on the way, in there for a strike. Schultz, a junior, transfer from Long Beach State, now in his second year at Cal. In the air to right center field and hit pretty well. That's going to get down and over the wall on a bounce for a ground rule double. So some opposite field power there from Schultz as he picks up his 16th double of the season. That's second most in the Pac-12. And a good start to the second inning for the Bears. Batter now will be Max Handren. Again, the wind is blowing in mostly from center field, and it's a pretty good wind tonight, about 15 miles an hour, gusts of up to 30. That could definitely be a factor in this one, as we'll see how the Bears want to play this with the runner on second and nobody out. No sign of a bunt, as that's a little outside. Another look at that double from Schultz. Good bit of hitting there going with the pitch. And he finds himself in scoring position. 2-0 now on Handren. Handren has reached base safely in 19 straight games. Batting .255 on the year, 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Fouls that one out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Handren, a senior from Sonoma. He's in his second year at Cal. Went to St. Bonaventure, then Santa Rosa Junior College, and then transferred into Cal. He's been a big part of the team this year. Popped up, foul territory. There's a lot of room here. Becerra is going to run out of it, however. This is a big foul territory type of stadium. And for pitchers, that can be a good thing. You can get a lot of free outs that maybe you wouldn't in other ballparks. Well, that one did find the seats. So 2-2 now on Handren, with Schultz on second, nobody out. Cal looking to strike first in the top of the second inning. And another foul. Well, we saw Owen Cobb put together a 9-pitch at bat in the first inning for Stanford with a lot of foul balls. Handren doing a nice job working deep into the count against Matt Scott. At the very least, Handren trying to move the runner up to third. Another 2-2 pitch. Fly ball down the left field line. Nadi into foul territory, and that will get out of play as well. Into the bullpen for Cal. As we mentioned, Cal won the first game between these two teams, non-conference in Berkeley in March, 5-0. That snapped a 5-game winning streak in the series for Stanford. This Cardinal team has been so good in recent years. That's strike 3 called, and a big strikeout for Matt Scott. His second of the night, out number 1 in the top of the second. Froze Handren there. And now here comes the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week in Seth Gwynn. As that was a perfect pitch over the outer half. Handren may be expecting something else. First pitch to Gwynn. 1-0. Gwynn hitting .316 on the year, 6 homers, 19 runs batted in. The junior from Clayton in Northern California, went to Clayton Valley Charter. He's in his first year at Cal from Los Medanos College. Rips that one into left field for a hit. Schultz had to hold up and make sure it got through, so he'll advance to third. And Cal now with runners on the corners and 1 out. And Seth Gwynn remains red hot at the plate. Gwynn is now 10 for his last 17, including 3 home runs. And here's the number 8 hitter, Jag Burden. Cardinal infield playing at double play depth. Becerra in on the grass at third base. Larson holding the runner on at first. Burden trying to drive in the game's first run. Swing and a miss. Burden, the senior from Huntington Beach. .296 hitter. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Just his 13th start of the year, his 32nd game overall. The 0-1 shows bunt and pops it up foul behind the plate. So sort of a safety squeeze there from Cal. But now Matt Scott ahead in the count, 0-2. Scott, a strikeout pitcher, looking for the K here. The 0-2, and it's fouled back as Gwynn was running on the pitch from first base. Would be interesting to see if Malcolm Moore elected to throw down to second base. Schultz, not great speed at third, so you might see a potential throw. And Malcolm Moore is a guy who has a really good arm. Another 0-2 pitch. That's outside. Pitch number 28 coming up for Matt Scott. The 1-2. Tipped and held for strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Matt Scott, and that's a big one. Second out of the inning. That pitch had some serious run inside, and it just tied Burden up, and a nice job by Moore to hang on for the strikeout. So now the number 9 hitter, Nico Button. Button, a guy who hasn't played a ton. This is his 11th game overall, his 8th start. 8 for 24 on the year with a home run and 4 driven in. A big spot early in this one. Fastball in there at 93. Button, a junior from San Mateo, went to Serra High School. Runner goes from first on another foul, and it's 0-2. So Gwynn has been on the move a couple of times, but both fouled off. Scott ahead in the count. Here's the 0-2. It's high, runner goes, and no throw from Moore. So a stolen base for Seth Gwynn. That's his 6th of the year. And now 2 runners in scoring position, but Scott still ahead in the count at 1-2. Trying to get out of the jam, keep this game scoreless. The 1-2 pitch. Looped into left field for a base hit. Schultz scores. They're going to wave Gwynn home. The throw, the tag. He is safe. And it's 2-0 Cal. A clutch 2-out, 2-run single from the number 9 hitter in the lineup, Nico Button. And the Bears cash in the second inning. That's a heck of an at-bat for a guy who hasn't played a ton. Behind in the count against a strikeout pitcher, and he just fought that one off the other way. And now back to the top of the order for P.J. Moutsouridis. Sends it down the right field line, out of play. For Nico Button, his 5th and 6th RBIs of the season. Scott trying to limit the damage now to just those 2 runs. 0-1 pitch. Just missed, 1-1. Take another look at that swing from Button. Nadai just a little offline with that throw. And an aggressive send by the Bears. Gwynn with good speed, able to score from second. 1-1 pitch popped up on the infield. It's going to be the second baseman, Cobb, and that ends the inning. But Cal gets on the board first, a couple of runs, and at the end of 1.5, the Bears lead at 2-0. Cal leading Stanford 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. A look at some of the big leaguers that have come through Berkeley. It's a pretty good list. Look at Corey Lee and Andrew Vaughn, both with the White Sox. Marcus Semien, guy who's been an MVP finalist, former Oakland A, now, of course, with the Texas Rangers. Mark Canha, he's a fun one. Big foodie. Fun guy off the field as well. And new pitcher coming in for Cal as well. It'll be Luke Short, who's a grad transfer from St. Edwards, originally from Los Gatos. So Austin Turkington again did his job as the opener, another scoreless inning. And the numbers on Short, a 3-1 record and a 4.20 ERA, 37 strikeouts, 16 walks in 45 innings of work. He'll face the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Stanford, beginning with Jimmy Nadai. And a called strike. Nadai to be followed by Brandon Larson and Jake Sapien. As the Cardinal looking to bounce back here in the bottom of the second. Cal putting up 2 in the top half. The 0-1. In there. No balls and 2 strikes. Nadai, a .299 hitter, 4 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Sophomore from Sydney, Australia. As you might have guessed from the walk-up song that he uses. Sharp grounder to second base. Advincula in the right position. And that's out number one. That'll bring up Brandon Larson. Well, Luke Short pitched against Stanford in that first game between these teams on March 5th. He threw 6 shutout innings. So the Cardinal looking to have some more success today as the lefty-lefty matchup here with Short and Larson. First pitch swinging down the left field line. Long run for Burden into the corner, and it gets out of play. Ball had some pretty good carry on it off the bat of Larson. 241 hitter, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Two runs on 4 hits for Cal, no runs on 1 hit for Stanford. 1 out, bottom of the second inning. And that misses high, a ball and a strike. Another shift for this Cal infield defense. So we've seen both teams do this. 3 infielders on the right side of second base. As that one fouled away, 1-2. Luke Short, a guy who doesn't throw all that hard necessarily, but he mixes his pitches well. Fastball in the upper 80s, low 90s. Has a slider and a changeup. Good command. As that one pulled foul. As we mentioned, he's a grad transfer from St. Edward's. Started at West Valley Community College, then St. Edward's, and now Cal, after graduating from Los Gatos High School. Breaking ball fouled away, still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Short comes from a big family. He's got 8 siblings. It's a little hard to stick out. But he's found a way to do it. And a swing and a miss. Got him with that slider at 82 miles an hour. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the second. That lefty-lefty matchup can be so deadly, and good movement on the slider from Short. So that's his first strikeout, and now here's the number 7 hitter for the Cardinal, Jake Sapien, the DH tonight. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Sapien batting .271, no home runs, 6 runs batted in, has a couple of doubles. Making his 15th start of the year. Slow roller foul. And it's 0-2. And again, this is what Luke Short does when he's at his best. You'll see a lot of 0-2 and 1-2 type of counts. He's a strike thrower, gets ahead and able to keep hitters off balance. He can throw all of his pitches in any situation. The 0-2. Fastball high. See the numbers, just 2 balls out of 12 pitches. That's filling up the strike zone. The 1-2. Pop up shallow right field. Gwynn coming in, battling that wind, and makes the catch. Nice inning for Luke Short. 1-2-3, the Cardinal go down. We're through 2 at Klein Field. Cal leads it 2-0.
Cal 2, Stanford 0.
2-0, Cal leading Stanford as we head to the 3rd inning. All right, well, we showed you the Cal big leaguers, so it's only fair that we show you Stanford as well. I was gonna mention that we weren't playing favorites, but here's the proof. Tristan Beck with the Giants. Nico Horner having a nice start to his career with the Cubs. Tommy Edman, another Giant, and Austin Slater. Of course, these 2 programs have turned out some excellent major leaguers over the years. And I think they've got some more on these squads. You talk about Caleb Lomavita for Cal, Rodney Green Jr., Malcolm Moore, the talented Stanford catcher. Maybe this kid, Jaron Advincula, the freshman, takes a strike. Advincula singled his first time up today. Batting .340 on the year, 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in. 1-1. Advincula from Santa Clara went to Archbishop Mitty High School. Older brother Jonah played Pac-12 baseball as well for Washington State. 2-1 now. So this is a big inning for Matt Scott. Got to go through the middle of the lineup again with Advincula, Caleb Lomavita, and Rodney Green Jr. Cal leading at 2-0. Two-run single in the second inning from Nico Button, making the difference so far. And now it's 3-1. Well, Advincula's got a real good eye. He's walked 18 times this year, only struck out 12. He strikes out on average only every 12.4 at bats. As that'll be fouled out of play. That's the fewest. It's the best strikeout ratio for any hitter in the Pac-12. And to do that as a freshman, especially impressive. Make sure the fan's okay. Three-two pitch from Matt Scott. Up the middle and into center field. And Jaron Advincula is 2 for 2. Fifth hit of the game already for Cal. And let's make sure they get some. Gotcha. Okay. Being told the kid's okay, just upset. Caleb Lomavita struck out in the first inning. 342 hitter, 12 home runs on the year. First pitch, low and away. So the Cardinal now shifting Lomavita over to the left side of the infield. Owen Cobb just a couple steps to the left of second base. You see him on the screen right there. And a check on Advincula, who's back at first. We talked about the two catchers in this game, Lomavita for Cal, Malcolm Moore for Stanford. Ranked by Baseball America as the number 13 and 19 prospects coming up in the draft. And look at that piece of hitting by Lomavita. He says, "You're going to shift me? I'll put it right through the hole." And Cal has runners on first and third with nobody out. Already 6 hits in the game for the Golden Bears against a tough pitcher to do that against. And now a great opportunity for Rodney Green Jr. Green grounded out in the first inning, hitting .253 on the year. 11 home runs, 35 RBIs. You got great speed on the bases, great speed at the plate. So a lot of options for the Bears as the shift on for Green defensively. Check swing. They say he held up. 1-0. Lomavita and Green for Cal are in the top 5 in the Pac-12 in both home runs and stolen bases. And that's outside, ball 2. They're the only 2 players in the conference to be in the top 10 or the top 5, either one in those categories. So you talk about having multiple tools, power and speed. And Green now ahead in the count, 2-0. 3-0. So Scott might not want a whole lot to do with Green here. You don't have first base open, but obviously loading the bases not necessarily the end of the world. The 3-0. That's in there for a strike. Peyton Schultz is waiting on deck. He's another hot hitter. Feels like this whole Cal lineup is hot. That's what happens during a 9-game winning streak. Here's the 3-1. High fly ball in the ballpark to left field. This should be deep enough to score the run as Nadai makes the catch. And in comes Advincula on the sacrifice fly. So a nice piece of hitting by Rodney Green Jr. He drives the run in. And Cal leads at 3-0. RBI number 36 for Green. First out of the inning, and now here's Peyton Schultz. This becomes an opportunity perhaps for Loma Vida to show his speed on the bases. As you see, Schultz 1 for 1 with that ground rule double in the second inning. Close play at first, but Loma Vida does just get back. I think Matt Scott had that same idea. You got a guy with 10 stolen bases this year in 12 attempts. Another throw to first, and dives back again. Loma Vida tied for 5th in the Pac-12 with those 10 steals. He runs. Chopper up the middle. Stays out of the double play as Haskins' only throw is to first base. So Loma Vida moves into scoring position with 2 outs. And the batter will be Max Handren. Handren caught looking in the second inning. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Batting .253 on the year, 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Trying to drive one more in here for Cal. The Bears have scored once this inning. And he takes ball 1. Handren, as we mentioned, a 19-game on-base streak coming into this one. He homered in Cal's last game. That was on Tuesday, a win at Pacific. Little blooper into left field, but it'll hang up for Nadai, and that ends the inning. So Cal will settle for 1. We're through 2.5 on the farm. The Bears leading Stanford 3-0. Cobb. And the second inning on the mound for the Cal left-hander Luke Short. Through a 1-2-3 second inning. Cal, if you're just joining us, utilized the opener tonight. Austin Turkington, the right-hander, throwing a scoreless first inning. And now Luke Short facing the Cardinal for the second time this year. He threw 6 shutout innings against Stanford back in early March. And looking to duplicate that performance tonight. Been staked to a 3-0 lead. Haskins hitting .311 on the year, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. And sends the first one to right field, slicing back toward Gwynn, who makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Luke Short. And now the number 9 hitter, Timo Becerra. Shadow's a little bit tricky this time of night at Klein Field. You can see them in the batter's box. You can see them in the outfield. Gwynn had to make that catch in the shadows in right. The ball coming from the sunshine. As that's a first pitch strike to Becerra. Becerra hitting .312 with no home runs, 5 doubles, and grounds that one into left field. Second hit of the night for the Cardinal. And they turn the lineup over as it's the leadoff man, Owen Cobb, coming up. Well, Becerra has been hot. He's hitting .352 in conference and keeps it rolling there. As the Cardinal trying to chip into this 3-run deficit. Cobb 0 for 1 tonight. A 9-pitch at bat in the first inning ended in a strikeout. Swings at the first pitch, doesn't get it. Cobb hitting .294 with 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Becerra 1 for 2 stealing bases this year. The 0-1. A ball and a strike. Cobb was all Pac-12 honorable mention last year. Grad student from Seattle. Chopper to short. Can they turn 2? Mutsaritas to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Cobb just runs too well. So 6-4 on the fielder's choice, and the inning continues for Ethan Hott. Tell you that freshman tandem up the middle for Cal has been impressive, both in the field and with the bats. Mutsaritas and Advincula. And poised for big careers in Berkeley. As Hott comes up, he's 1 for 1 tonight with a single. Snap throw to first. Cobb dives back. Hott batting .315 on the season. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. Owen Cobb, 3 stolen bases this year. He's been caught twice. Just outside, 1-1. Hott, a sophomore from Paradise Valley, Arizona. And another throw to first base. Cobb back easily that time. First of a 3-game series on the farm. These teams will be back at it tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and then Sunday, the finale also at 4. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Had him out in front a little bit, 1-2. Cal looking for its 10th straight win tonight. Short looking in, now the 1-2. Hot shot to first base off the glove of Schultz and into right field. Cobb will stop at second. And Stanford will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Court McDonald. So we'll see how they score that one. It was 97 miles an hour off the bat. Not an easy play by any means at first base for Schultz. So I'm guessing that will be a base hit. And that is how they score it. Third hit of the night for Stanford. And Ethan Hott now 2 for 2. Here's McDonald. Takes low for ball 1. McDonald, a strikeout victim in the first inning against Austin Turkington. Batting .338, 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. That's in there, 1-1. Cal putting that infield shift on defensively. You can see Cobb dancing around at second base. He's got good speed. Hott, pretty good speed at first base as well. 2 out, bottom of the third inning, 3-0 Bears. And a fastball just missed. 2 balls and a strike. McDonald, the sophomore from Arlington, Texas. He's got a 15 game on base streak rather, coming in tonight. Just got a piece of that one, now 2-2. McDonald, the best batting average on the team at .338. Trying to get Stanford on the board with a big 2-out knock. Here's the 2-2. into foul territory, and that'll get out of play. Onto the grass over there. Remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty good crowd tonight at Sunken Diamond. Again, it is a little bit chilly, and you got some wind. But it was a nice afternoon on the farm. Another 2-2 and another foul. This one straight back. Stanford looking to get above 500 in conference play. They're 9-9, just a half game behind Cal, who's 11-10. Both of these teams have improved drastically from the start of the year. Another 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Luke Short froze him and gets out of the jam. Nice pitch by the lefty. We'll head to the 4th. Cal still leading 3-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for medium rare.
Hi.
Chocolate.
Deep tissue.
Or just buy them already.
Omakase. Lady freaking Gaga?
You know who loves you? MGM, baby.
Nothing Cal leading Stanford as we head to the 4th inning. The Bears scoring 2 runs in the 2nd, 1 more in the 3rd. And they've already put together 6 hits against the Stanford #1 starter, Matt Scott. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up for the Golden Bears this inning. Seth Gwynn, Jag Burden, and Nico Button. As Scott tries to keep the deficit to just 3. We've talked about how this Cardinal lineup has really heated up over the last 15 games. They've been averaging better than 7 runs per game over that stretch. So certainly trailing by just 3. They're right in this thing. Now the question is, can Scott keep it there? As the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week comes up in Gwynn. Takes outside. Gwynn singled back in the 2nd inning. Has his average up to 323. 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in. The 1-0. In there, 1-1. Gwynn in his first year at Cal after transferring from Los Medanos College. He's a junior. In the air to right field, McDonald has a beat on it and makes the catch for out number 1. Matt Scott now at 54 pitches as he has an out in the 4th. And here's Jag Burden, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. The good news for Scott is that he has not walked anyone. And he has 3 strikeouts. But Cal has been able to put some good swings on early with 6 hits. And that misses inside for ball 1. Burden hitting .291. Scott, preseason All Pac-12 selection, 1 of 2 on this Cardinal team. That's in there for a strike. The other one, Malcolm Moore, of course. Cardinal, the only team in college baseball to make 3 straight College World Series. And that's looped over shortstop. A nice play by Haskins. Thought that might get into left field for a hit. Haskins had other ideas. He got a great read on it and makes the catch for out number 2. Not only have the Cardinals made 3 straight College World Series, they're the only team in college baseball that has hosted 6 consecutive regionals. They've been to 4 straight super regionals. As the first pitch to Nico Button inside. It's been an unbelievable run under David Esker in his 7th year. It's the first season in a while, really, that they've found themselves below 500 this late. 2-0. But again, even this year, you knew there were going to be changes from all the talent. 9 players drafted in last year's Major League Draft. And they're starting to put it together late in the season. 2-1. I think both these teams will be tough outs at the Pac-12 tournament this year. Nico Button had that 2-run single in the 2nd inning for Cal. And now ahead in the count 3-1 with the leadoff hitter P.J. Mutsaritas on deck. Swing and a miss. Full count. Pac-12 tournament in less than a month now. Begins May 21st down in Scottsdale. Payoff pitch. Missed ball 4. And Nico Button has been on base both times tonight. That's the first walk issued by Scott. So the inning continues for Mutsaritas. PJ 0 for 2 tonight. Flied out in the first, popped down in the second. 325 hitter with 5 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. That looked like the slider from Scott, 86 miles an hour to get ahead in the count. One and one. Mutsaritas has 31 hits in conference play. That's tied atop the Pac-12. Just a freshman from San Jose. Check on Button, who's back at first base. Mutsaritas played at Valley Christian High School. Here's the 1-1. In the air, hit pretty well to right center field. A long run and a sliding catch by McDonald, but it came out. Running the whole time was Button, and he's going to score. And it's 4-0 Cal. Boy, that was a great effort by McDonald, who nearly made a highlight reel catch, but just couldn't complete it. And it's going to be an RBI double for P.J. Mutsaritas. '29th run batted in this season for the freshman. And Cal has scored for the 3rd straight inning. Now here's another freshman, Jaron Advincula, who's 2 for 2 tonight with a couple of singles. In there for strike 1. Advincula has raised his average to 344. 4 home runs, a triple, and 8 doubles. Good block by Malcolm Moore as the count evens at 1-1. So Cal with 2 runs in the second, 1 in the third, and now 1 in the fourth. 4 runs on 7 hits as they look to add another with 2 outs. Fisted over to third base, caught by Becerra, and that will retire the side. But a big 2-out double from Mutsaritas to score a run. Cal leads it 4-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for medium rare.
Hi.
Chocolate.
Deep tissue.
Oh, just buy them already.
Omakase. Lady freaking Gaga?
You know who loves you? MGM, baby.
Bottom of the fourth inning at Sunken Diamond. Cal leading Stanford 4-0. Here's how the Bears scored their fourth run in the top half with 2 outs. P.J. Mutsaritas. Look how close Court McDonald came to squeezing that one. Nearly a snow cone catch, but it just popped out. And that turned into an RBI double to add to the lead for the Bears. So Luke Short back on the hill now with a 4-0 lead. And he'll be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Malcolm Moore, Jimmy Nadai, and Brandon Larson. Malcolm Moore, a little ground out his first time up today as he looks at strike one on the outside corner. Moore hitting .242, 12 home runs, tied for fourth most in the Pac-12, and 28 RBIs. And that's a good breaking ball, quickly 0-2. It's interesting, Moore had a much better batting average last year. But coming into tonight, his on-base percentage and slugging percentage were higher this season. He's been walking a ton. As the 0-2 pitch, low and away. Malcolm Moore, 33 walks this season, tied for second most in the Pac-12. He's got an on-base percentage of .420. In the air, deep to right field. Gwynn is back. It's gone. Home run number 13 for Malcolm Moore. And the Cardinal on the board. Well, that's what he can do. Instant offense. And he stays red hot. He had 4 home runs last weekend against Oregon. Make it 5 in his last 4 conference games. That'll bring up Jimmy Nadai. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back to the screen. Nadai 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out in the second inning, hitting .297. 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. Popped up on the infield. Who's going to take it for Cal? Tough play. Somebody caught it. And I think it was the third baseman, Handren, who ends up making the catch. Boy, that was an adventure. Let's take another look at that home run by Malcolm Moore. He was able to turn on that ball inside, and there is an art to keeping that fair. A lot of hitters, when you get it that far inside, just yank it foul. But Malcolm Moore with such strength, pretty left-handed swing, trying to fire up the troops. 1 out now in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Brandon Larson sends the first pitch deep to left field. Burden at the wall. It's gone. Second home run of the inning for Stanford. And there's life at Sunken Diamond. Brandon Larson didn't waste any time. His third long ball of the season. And Cal's lead down to 4-2. I'll tell you what, the wind has definitely quieted down a little bit. And these Cardinal hitters have taken advantage as they drilled those last two. Jake Sapien takes a strike. And quickly 0-2. Luke Short has now allowed 8 home runs this season. The 0-2 pitch to Sapien, fastball away. For Stanford, they now have 44 home runs as a team. They came in with the 5th most in the Pac-12. The team that hit 117 last year. As that's going to be a tough play at third. Handren charging, throws on the run. It's not in time. An infield single for Jake Sapien. And now the tying run will come to the plate. Let's get another look at that Larson home run. Just a first pitch fastball. He went with it into the trees and left. Oppo Taco. So the power bats coming up big here in the 4th inning for the Cardinal. And here's Trevor Haskins at the dish. He swings at the first one. Pop up down the right field line. Long run for Gwynn. And gets there in foul territory to make the catch. Well, perhaps we're seeing an adjustment from these Cardinal hitters the second time through the lineup. Much more aggressive, trying to ambush that first pitch from Luke Short. We've talked about how he throws a lot of strikes. And now it'll be the number 9 hitter, Timo Becerra, who singled his first time up tonight. Sapien on first with 2 outs. 2 runs home in the bottom of the 4th. There's a first pitch swing, little pop up on the infield, and a sliding catch by Advincula. Nice play by the Cal second baseman. Stanford with a couple of home runs. It's 4-2 Cal after 4. 4 runs on 7 hits for Cal. 2 runs on 6 hits for Stanford, including a couple of solo home runs in that 4th inning. Malcolm Moore and Brandon Larson getting the Cardinal right back in this thing as we head to the 5th. And now Cal will send up the heart of the lineup. Caleb Lomavita, Rodney Green Jr., and Peyton Schultz. As Matt Scott looking for a shutdown inning. He's back out there for his 5th inning of work on the hill. Lomavita 1 for 2 on the night with a single and a strikeout. Hitting .346 with 12 home runs and 45 RBIs. And a fastball at 91 miles an hour in there for strike 1. Lomavita, preseason All-American on the Golden Spikes Award watch list. He was all Pac-12 last year, first team All-Conference in 22. 1-1. Well, we talked about the 2 catchers in this one. That might have, did not get a piece of the home plate umpire. Patrick Riley looks like he's okay. But you see the 2 catchers, Lomavita and Malcolm Moore, who homered for Stanford in the 4th. Again, these are 2 kids who will likely hear their name called in the first round of July's Major League Baseball draft. Baseball America lists them as the number 13 and 19 overall prospects. Lomavita 13th, Moore 19th. Couple of real talented young catchers. Swing and a miss from Lomavita, 1-2. Pitch number 73 coming up for Matt Scott. And it's popped up right side of the infield. Cobb circles under it and makes the catch. So a big first out anytime you can retire Loma Vita. And now here's Rodney Green Jr. Green, another excellent draft prospect. We talked about his slow start to the season, but he's really picked it up. Has his average back up to 253, 11 home runs, 36 RBIs. Had a sac fly his last time up tonight and ropes the first one foul. That was 105 off the bat. Well, for Green, that was his 23rd RBI in conference play, which leads the Pac-12. So that gives you an idea the type of hitter he's been as of late. And that's going to be a fair ball down the left field line. And now we get to watch Green run. He's going to try for two and make it standing up. That's his 9th double of the season. Exit velocity of 104 miles per hour. And the 8th hit of the night for Cal. So we were talking to Mike New during the week, the Cal head coach, and the way he talks about Rodney Green Jr., just the pure talent that he has. If he can put it all together, he's going to be a special player. And we're already seeing glimpses of it. As Peyton Schultz comes to the plate with one away. Fastball outside. Schultz a double in the second inning, grounded out in the third. 327 average, 5 home runs, 42 RBIs. In there, 1-1. That double for Schultz earlier was his 16th of the year. He's second in the Pac-12 in that category. And tied for 7th in RBIs. The 1-1. Nice block by Moore. So you got Green with excellent speed at second base for Cal. He leads the team with 12 stolen bases. He's 12 for 15. And so he'll likely score on any sort of base hit to the outfield. The 2-1 from Scott. 2-2. This will be pitch number 80 for Matt Scott, trying to give David Esker perhaps a couple more innings tonight. The 2-2. Fouled away. Matt Scott, 3 strikeouts tonight. He's now up to 84 on the season, most in the Pac-12. Tomorrow's scheduled starter for Stanford, Christian Lim, is second in the conference in strikeouts with 67. Not a bad 1-2 punch. Another 2-2 pitch to Peyton Schultz. And the count runs full. Max Handren in the on-deck circle. Cal is 2 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. Here's the payoff pitch. Ball 4 high. So a nice plate appearance for Schultz. That's the second walk issued by Matt Scott tonight. And now 2 on, 1 out for Max Handren. And Malcolm Moore going out to talk to the sophomore right-hander. No action in the Cardinal bullpen. Scott at 82 pitches. Whole infield comes in to give him a little glove tap. And now here's Handren looking for his first hit tonight. Handren also trying to extend his 19-game on-base streak. .252 hitter with 5 home runs. Cardinal getting the infield set. Now ready to go. A first pitch strike on the outer half. Handren, a preseason All Pac-12 selection for Cal. They had 5 of them. Pop-up foul territory. Becerra going to give it a look, but he runs out of room. And it's 0-2. Green, good speed on second. Schultz, average speed on first. The 0-2 pitch. Little looper, and it's caught by the second baseman, Cobb. And both runners get back. Nice play by Owen Cobb to track it down. And now 2 away for Seth Gwynn. Well, here's your reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week, Gwynn. As you get another look at the play by Cobb. Good job by both base runners. Reading that ball well, not getting caught too far off the bag. Gwynn 1 for 2 tonight. High and tight. That one nearly hit him. I don't know how he got out of the way. Ball 1. Gwynn hitting .320 on the year, 6 home runs. 3 of them came last weekend against Oregon State. The 1-0. On the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gwynn in his last 5 games now 10 for 18 at the plate. He has been red hot. Right guy to have up if you're a Cal fan. The 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Again, Cal has won 9 in a row. That included that 3-game sweep of Oregon State, who was ranked number 5 at the time, still in the top 10 last weekend in Berkeley. An impressive series for the Bears. Now 2-2. Stanford, a series victory over Oregon last weekend here at Sunken Diamond. They took 2 of 3. 2 teams that have been hot as of late. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High and foul down the left side. That'll get out of play. And the count holds. Cal has homered in 11 straight games coming into this one. They haven't gone deep yet tonight. 61 home runs as a team this year. 3rd most in the Pac-12. Another 2-2 pitch from Scott. And the count runs full. These are some good, patient at-bats from Cal's lineup. Jag Burden would hit next. Runners will get a head start. 3-2, 2 outs. 4-2 Cal in the 5th inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Sharply on the ground, past the diving Becerra. And Green will come in to score. It's another 2-out RBI hit for these Bears. And they lead at 5-2. Stay hot, Seth Gwynn. He's now 11 for his last 19. And the inning continues for Jag Burden. So Schultz now at second base, Gwynn at first. Still no one up in the Cardinal bullpen. And a fastball high and away. 93 pitches for Matt Scott, who's worked over 100 a few times. So he's certainly capable of getting that pitch count up there. Close pitch, just missed, 2-0. Burden 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out in the second inning, lined to short in the fourth. 286 hitter for the year. Fouls that one away. 2 balls and a strike. Cal already with 9 hits in this game. 5 runs on 9 hits. Stanford 2 runs on 6 hits. Both lineups came into this game hot, and they have stayed that way. Scott, long look at second, now comes to the plate. That's in the air to right field, shallow. McDonald looking up, and he's got it for out number 3. Cal adds a run to the lead. They strand 2. We're halfway home from Stanford. Golden Bears lead at 5-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for medium rare.
Hi.
Chocolate.
Deep tissue.
Or just buy them already.
Omakase. Lady freaking Gaga?
You know who loves you? MGM, baby.
Bottom of the 5th inning at Klein Field, 5-2. Cal leading Stanford. Ben Ross with you on the Pac-12 Network. Game 1 of a 3-game series this weekend on the farm. And the top of the order coming up here for Stanford. Owen Cobb, Ethan Hott, Court McDonald. Luke Short, the Cal left-hander, out for his 4th inning of work after Austin Turkington pitched the 1st inning for Cal as an opener. And Cobb steps in 0 for 2 on the night. Looks at a fastball in there for strike 1. Cobb struck out in the 1st, grounded into a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Hitting 292 rather on the year. 7 home runs, 30 RBIs. Count even 1-1. Cobb, one of the few returning starters from last year's Stanford team. Has a bender in there on the inner half, 1-2. Short protecting a 3-run lead. Cal has scored in 4 of the 5 innings tonight. And a late swing and a foul from Cobb. It's interesting, Stanford has used the long ball for both of its runs. A couple of solo home runs. Cal has not left the yard tonight, but 5 runs on 9 hits. A lot of good clutch 2-out at bats. And another foul by Cobb, who has done a nice job in his at-bats tonight, battling some tough pitches. Cal looking for its 10th straight win. They're looking for their 7th straight Pac-12 win. And that's in the gap to right center field. No one's going to get it. Room to run for Owen Cobb, who breezes into second base with a leadoff double. So that's a good AB from the Stanford leadoff hitter. Fought off a couple of 2-strike pitches and then got one he could drive. That's the 7th hit of the night for Stanford. And now here comes Ethan Hott. Hott having a good night, 2 for 2, couple of singles. Has his average up to 323. Looks at a changeup at 78 miles an hour for a strike. Hott, the sophomore from Paradise Valley, Arizona. Breaking ball chopped to third, foul. 0-2. Game 2 will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. That'll be a couple of left-handers. Christian Lim for Stanford, Ian May for Cal. And then the series finale Sunday at 4. 0-2 pitch misses high and away. We'll have all 3 games for you right here on the Pac-12 Network. The big series always means a little extra when these two schools get together. And especially with where they're at in the standings, so tightly packed in the Pac-12. That's ripped to left field, and that gets down for a base hit. Cobb will stop at third, and the Cardinal threatening in the bottom of the 5th. Runners on the corners, nobody out. So we're seeing some great at-bats from both lineups tonight. And again, remember Luke Short faced this Stanford team about a month and a half ago in Berkeley and pitched 6 shutout innings. It's been a different story tonight. He's given up 7 hits and 2 runs so far in 3 innings of work. As the number 3 hitter, Court McDonald, comes to the plate. Swings at the first pitch. Fair ball down the line. Cobb comes in to score easily. Hott getting the wave around third. Here's the relay. It will not be made. And it's a 2-run double to make it 5-4. Court McDonald now up to 25 RBIs on the season. And Cal's bullpen starting to move around a little bit. As the Golden Bears will conference on the mound. The tying run now on second base. Still nobody out in the inning. And here's big Malcolm Moore coming to the plate. That's Christian Becerra getting loose for the Golden Bears. As the pitching coach, Chris Bodishba, goes out to chat with Luke Short. So this is an interesting situation. You got first base open. And Malcolm Moore, who's already homered tonight and has 13 on the year at the plate. It is a lefty-lefty matchup. You've got the right-hand hitter Jimmy Nadai on deck. But perhaps part of this conversation is just to remind Short that you do have a base open. You don't necessarily have to throw a strike. You can see if you can get Malcolm Moore to chase something. Again, that's easier said than done. He's a guy who's walked 33 times this year and only struck out 19. We'll see how it plays out. A first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Moore 1 for 2 with that solo home run in the 4th inning. 13 long balls on the season for the reigning freshman of the year in the Pac-12. Just outside, 1-1. Malcolm Moore, a Golden Spikes watch list selection this year. On the Bobby Bragan watch list. Big swing, and a number comes back into fair territory, and that's going to be an infield single. Court McDonald stays at second base, and a smart decision by Handren to not throw. Boy, that was strange. It started foul, and it had so much spin that it came back into the field of play. And credit to Malcolm Moore for running it out. So he's now 2 for 3. So that essentially serves as a walk in the sense that McDonald does not advance. But now you've got 2 on and nobody out for Jimmy Nadai. And now the Cardinal up to 10 hits on the night. What a wild game this has been. 1-0. Take another look at this one. See how the ball starts in foul territory and then it spins back fair. And I think Handren wanted to let it roll foul, but he realized it wasn't going to happen. That's a nice breaking ball to even the count, 1-1. Well, no sign of a bunt here for Nadai. Stanford does have 25 sacrifice bunts this year, the second most in the conference, but it looks like they're going to let him swing away with 2 on and nobody out. That breaking ball dips low, 2-1. Cardinal have not led tonight. Cal built a 4-0 lead. Stanford got 2 in the 4th inning. Cal added 1 in the top half. Stanford has got 2 already in the bottom of the 5th. And that's roped into the left field corner, and that's going to tie the game at least. McDonald comes in. They'll stop Moore at third. It's an RBI double for Jimmy Nadai, and it's 5-5. And still nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. This Cardinal lineup has come to life. And you wonder if that might be all for Luke Short. Do have a lefty coming up in Brandon Larson, but remember, he homered his last time up, and that will be the end of the night for Luke Short, as Mike New will make the call to the bullpen, and we'll have a pitching change as Christian Becerra looks like he's going to be the man to come in for Cal. Stanford threatening to take the lead with runners on second and third, nobody out. 5-5 in the bottom of the 5th.
There are many reasons why we play. They sow themselves into the fabric of your spirit, taking root and giving you something to root for. Our games stretch beyond the sidelines, only to get louder, bolder. It breeds a form of dedication that doesn't require an off-season. The game is always on. The crowd is always on their feet. And it's here where passion has purpose.
Welcome to Fandom 101. The only feeling better than going in front of thousands of screaming fans, being one of those screaming fans. It's all part curriculum. The NCAA Men's College World Series, June in Omaha, Nebraska. Attend is encouraged. passion is mandatory. For tickets today at ncaa.com/mccws. Class dismissed.
Tied at 5 in the bottom of the 5th inning, Cal and Stanford. And the Cardinal threatening to take their first lead of the night with runners on second and third, nobody out. Christian Becerra becomes the third Golden Bears pitcher of the night. You see the numbers, making his 14th appearance. 3-1, a 5.29 ERA, 37 strikeouts in 34 innings of work for the right-hander. Junior from Studio City in Southern California, went to Harvard Westlake High School. And we'll see if he can find his way out of this jam. The scheduled hitter for Stanford is Brandon Larson, who homered his last time up in the 4th. Those solo home runs in the 4th inning for Stanford really got the offense going. And here's that little play from an inning ago and some nice defense in this game. But it's been the bats that have really gotten going. Here's that home run from Larson. Going opposite field off Luke Short. And yeah, Malcolm Moore, Brandon Larson with solo home runs in the 4th inning. That seemed to breathe some life into this stadium, into the team. And so far in the 5th inning, already 3 runs on 5 hits without a single out being recorded. So this Cardinal offense, we saw what they did last weekend against Oregon. Put up 19 runs in one of those games. And they've come from 4 runs down tonight. Cal will play the infield back. Shifted over against the left-hand hitting Larson. Check swing down the line and foul. That was nearly trouble. 0-1. Larson hitting .250 on the year. That was his 3rd home run and 10 RBIs. And it's 0-2. Malcolm Moore on third, Jimmy Nadai on second. Becerra looking for the strikeout. Instead, it's a base hit. Moore scores, and they're going to stop Nadai at third. He almost ran through the stop sign, but gets back to the bag. And the Cardinal have their first lead of the night. The hits keep coming here in the 5th inning. 4 runs on 6 hits without a single out being recorded. So now Becerra is just trying to limit the damage as best he can and give his offense a chance to get back in it for Cal. Here's Jake Sapien. A called strike. 6 batters have come up in this inning. All 6 have recorded hits. Stanford now with 12 hits on the night. The 0-1. On the ground to third. Handren to second for 1. And that's all they'll get. And heads up base running by Nadai, who slides home. He wasn't coming initially, but once that throw went to second base, he took off and makes it 7-5. So that's the 5th run of the inning for the Cardinal. And the batter will be Trevor Haskins. Haskins 1 for 2 with a single his last time up. A mighty swing and strike 1. Taking a look at that last play, and you see right when that throw went to second base, Nadai read it perfectly and able to dive across the plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch, 0-2. Haskins hitting .307, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. He's extended his hitting streak, or looking to extend his hitting streak, I should say, to 8 games. Haskins hit for the cycle earlier this year. That was against Texas Tech. You don't see that very often at any level, as it's now 1-2. As a matter of fact, it was the first cycle by a Stanford player since 2011, 13 years ago. One-two pitch, fouled back. Haskins, a guy who's also been red hot. We've talked about this Stanford lineup the last 15 games or so. Haskins in his last 15 hitting .444 with 4 home runs. Nice block by Loma Vida. Seven to 5 Stanford. 5 runs home in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cal trying to stop the bleeding here, as that's popped up in foul territory. Perhaps a play for Schultz. Long run, and he sort of overran it. Not an easy play by any stretch, as you got to worry about the on-deck hitter, the dugout, the netting. And he had a long way to go from his position at first base. So another chance for Trevor Haskins. Still 2-2. Sapien on first base, 1 out. And the count runs full. We'll see if they put Sapien in motion. He's got 1 stolen base on the year. He bluffs, and a ground ball base hit. The 7th hit of the inning for Stanford. Sapien moves up to second base. And the 9th batter of the inning coming up right now in Timo Becerra. Well, I think Becerra got what he wanted there, the ground ball, but it found a hole. And this becomes a really important batter with the leadoff man Owen Cobb on deck. Stanford trying to really blow this game open. Fastball, strike 1. Becerra singled in the 3rd inning, popped out in the 4th. Hitting .315 on the year. The 0-1. Ball and a strike. Becerra, junior from Clovis, went to Buchanan High School in Central California. It's always a luxury when you've got a guy hitting .315 in the 9 spot of your lineup. Fouled that one away. 1-2. Five runs on 9 hits for Cal, 7 runs on 13 hits for Stanford. 7 of those hits this inning. And a pretty good 2-strike pitch. Nice take by Becerra to even the count 2-2. So you got Becerra versus Becerra here. Christian against Timo. And that one is fouled away. No relation. As we said, Timo from Clovis. Christian Becerra from Studio City in Southern California. Look back at second and another 2-2 pitch. Just missed, 3-2. Tell you, we're seeing some great at-bats tonight from both teams. It has not been easy for these pitchers. Not a whole lot of chase out of the zone. Some good pitches have been spoiled. And a big pitch coming here with Owen Cobb waiting on deck. Here it comes. Strike 3 called. Out number 2 in the 5th. Right at the bottom of the zone, Becerra gets his first strikeout. And here comes Owen Cobb for the second time this inning. Cobb led this all off with a double to begin the 5th. Hitting .297 on the year. Fastball misses at 93 miles an hour. Cobb second on the team with 7 home runs behind only Malcolm Moore, who has 12. That's going to be a wild pitch. Loma Vida chases it down, and the runners move up to second and third. Fourth wild pitch of the year from Christian Becerra. So now a base hit would likely score 2 runs. And Owen Cobb is ahead in the count, 2-0. Stanford is 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Check swing, they'll look down, no swing, says the first base umpire, Stephen Corvey. 3-0 with Ethan Hott waiting on deck. See if Cobb has the green light. He takes a strike. 3-1. Every Stanford hitter in the lineup has at least 1 hit tonight. They've got 7 hits in the inning. As that's ball 4 and the bases are loaded. So here comes Ethan Hott with a chance to blow the game open for the Cardinal. He's 3 for 3 tonight. 3 singles for the Cardinal number 2 hitter. Believe it or not, that's the first walk drawn by the Cardinal tonight. And unable to hold up on that first pitch. He went breaking ball to get ahead. Ethan Hott has his batting average up to .330. Another check swing for a strike. So Becerra, at least through the first 2 pitches, has Hott off balance. Now let's see what he comes with on 0-2. The right-hander from the stretch. Just outside. Jake Sapien dancing around at third base, trying to perhaps draw a balk from Becerra, but so far the right-hander has been locked in on Ethan Hott at the plate. 10th batter of the inning. And a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts with a walk in the middle, and a nice job by Christian Becerra. Stanford scores 5, and they lead it by 2 after 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for medium rare.
Hi.
Chocolate.
Deep tissue.
Or just buy them already.
Omakase. Lady freaking Gaga?
You know who loves you? MGM, baby.
Pac-12 baseball is presented by Rawlings. Champions choose Rawlings. Stanford takes a 7-5 lead into the 6th inning against Cal. And all of a sudden, Matt Scott a chance to get the win tonight. Bears jumped out to the 4-0 lead. They led it 5-2 going in to the bottom of the 5th. But Stanford exploded for 5 runs on 7 hits last inning. And they've got the lead. Still a long way to go. These are 2 lineups that can produce some runs in a hurry, as we have seen. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for Cal. Nico Button, P.J. Moutsouridis, and Jaron Advincula. Matt Scott at 96 pitches right now for the Cardinal. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's allowed 9 hits, but his offense has picked him up and got him the lead. First pitch to Button is on the outside corner for a strike. Button's been on base both times tonight. A 2-run single in the 2nd inning to put Cal on the board. And then a walk in the 4th. That's up the middle. Diving stop by Cobb, but he can't make a play. And it's another hit for Nico Button. That was a great job by Cobb just to keep it on the infield. But Cal will bring the tying run to the plate as they go back to the top of the order for P.J. Moutsouridis. And now there is some action in the Stanford bullpen. Scott closing in on 100 pitches. Moutsouridis 1 for 3, an RBI double his last time up. Takes ball 1. There's a look at that Stanford bullpen. A little bit of a hidden shot. They want to hide who's warming up. Couldn't hold up the swing. Count even at a ball and a strike on pitch number 100 from Matt Scott. There we go. We found him. It's Trevor Moore, the sophomore righty. Cal trying to answer that 5 spot from Stanford in the 5th. As Nico Button dives back into first. Moutsouridis now hitting .329, 5 home runs, 11 doubles, 29 runs batted in for the freshman. What a start to his career. And a perfect fastball to make it 1-2. Look at the pitch count for Matt Scott. 27 pitches last inning. Here's the 1-2. And it's fouled away. Got to see the number of pitches Cal made in the bottom half. Our director, Joey Bali, telling me it was a 26-minute inning, I believe. 26-minute half inning for Stanford. Putting up 5 runs. Just up and down the lineup. Hits galore. 2-2 now on Moutsouridis. Cal now into double figures with 10 hits of their own. So if you like offense, you've come to the right place. We still have 4 innings to go. The 2-2. In the air to left. Nadi is there and picks it off. Button hustles back to first base. Nico Button 2 for 2 tonight with a walk. Here's a look at his last hit as you see Owen Cobb with the diving play, but ball sort of squirted away. And again, it was a nice play by Cobb just to keep it on the infield. Here's another freshman, Jaron Advincula, who's 2 for 3 on the night. Told you every Stanford starter has a hit tonight. all but 2 for Cal have a base hit, as that's ball 1. Max Handren and Jack Burton both 0 for 3. But as we've said, a long way to go. As Matt Scott now at 105 pitches, and we're going to get a visit to the mound from the Stanford pitching coach, Thomas Eager. Thomas Eager makes all the mound visits, whether it's just to talk or to make a pitching change. So it's tough to read what the decision will be, but now we see the point to the bullpen. And that will do it for Matt Scott. It'll be Trevor Moore coming into the game, a 1-0 count on Jaron Advincula, who represents the tying run. And Matt Scott will get a round of applause as he comes out. He's in line for the win. Stanford leads it 7-5. Trevor Moore, the new pitcher for Stanford, making his 19th appearance of the season, a perfect 3-0 record so far, and a 5.36 ERA. The strikeouts to walk, 42-17 in 42 innings of work for the sophomore right-hander from Golden, Colorado. His dad pitched for Stanford, if you remember, Tim Moore, who went on to be drafted by the White Sox. So like father, like son for the Cardinal, and Moore trying to protect this 7-5 lead in the 6th inning. Jaron Advincula is the batter, a 1-0 count with Nico Button on first base. By the way, that 19th appearance for Trevor Moore, that leads Stanford. So he has been a workhorse this year. David Esker has relied on him a lot, and for the most part, he's done a nice job. So the tying run at the plate for Cal. The Bears have scored in each of the last 4 innings, but it's been the Stanford lineup that has been exploding recently. 2 runs in the 4th on home runs, and then 5 in the 5th to take the lead. Right part of the order up for Cal, however, with Advincula at the plate and Caleb Lomavita lurking on deck. Advincula, as you saw on your screen, 2 for 3 tonight with a couple of singles. Freshman hitting .342. Popped up to shallow left, long run for Haskins going out, and it falls. It landed between Nadai and Haskins, and Button moves up to second base. So Button had to stop halfway between first and second just to make sure. He didn't think most likely that would fall in. But Advincula will take it. It's a base hit. He's 3 for 4. And now here comes Caleb Lomavita representing the potential go-ahead run at the plate. It's a tough play. Haskins had to go a long way out. Nadai was playing deep in left field, or else he might have been able to catch it. Let's see if Cal can take advantage. Lomavita 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 3rd inning. Little low for ball 1. Let's look at that last single again. Haskins got a good read on it going out. It looked like Nadai didn't get the best break on the ball, and by the time he was charging in, it was too late. 1-1 now on Lomavita. Lomavita came in leading this team with a .344 batting average. 12 home runs, 45 RBIs, also leading Cal. 1-1 pitch. On the ground to the right side, fielded by Larson, raised to the bag, and he gets there for out number 2. Runners advance, and so now you've got the potential tying run at second base, where a base hit could tie this game up. Button on third, Advincula on second. Rodney Green Jr. stepping to the plate. He laced a double down the left field line his last time up. He also has a sac fly and has scored a run. And they're going to put him on. Intentional walk here. David Esker doesn't want to mess around. He's going to choose to face the right-hand hitter, Peyton Schultz. Look at his double last time up, and probably a good decision when you got a left-hand hitter going against a right-hand pitcher. Nothing against Peyton Schultz, who's also been red hot for Cal, but you get the righty-righty matchup. You get the force at any base. Let's see if Schultz can make Stanford pay. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Low and away for ball one. Schultz batting .327 on the year with 5 home runs and 16 doubles. He's got 42 RBIs as well, second most on the team behind Loma Vida. And he's ahead in the count here, 2-0. So that is one of the dangers of loading the bases intentionally, is now you've got nowhere to put Schultz. The 2-0. Kind of a half-hearted swing. He was fooled on the pitch. Nice job by Moore not giving in a fastball count. Went off speed at 86 miles an hour, 2-1. And now it's 2-2. Button on third base, Advincula on second, Green on first. 2 out, top 6. Stanford clinging to a 2-run lead. And that's strike 3 called. 3 straight strikes from Trevor Moore to get out of the jam. What a job by the sophomore righty. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th, still 7-5. 7-5, Stanford heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. Game 1 of this 3-game series between Bay Area rivals, the Bears and the Cardinal. As Christian Becerra back out on the hill for his 2nd inning of work out of the bullpen. And he'll be facing the middle of this Cardinal lineup, Court McDonald, Malcolm Moore, and Jimmy Nadai. So Stanford able to strand the bases loaded in the top half of the inning. Cal has now left 9 runners on base. Cardinal have left 7 of their own. So as many runs as we've got in this game, it could be even more. And we've still got at least 3 more innings to go after this. Here's Court McDonald. Takes ball 1. McDonald struck out each of his first 2 at-bats and then came up with a 2-run double in the 5th. Cardinal with 5 runs last inning to take the lead. 2-0 now on the sophomore. Batting .340 with 3 home runs and 25 RBIs. 3-0. Cal looking to extend a 9-game winning streak. They'll have to come back to do it. Look at McDonald dancing around in the batter's box. Becerra still able to pump a strike in there, 3-1. Bears had a couple of comeback wins last weekend in their sweep of Oregon State. A couple of walk-off wins. There's a big cut and a miss, 3-2. Look at that. Almost like the softball slap type at bat. As he lines this one into left center field, and it gets down for a base hit. Played by Green, who chucks it back in and holds it to a single. So Court McDonald now 2 for 4. McDonald has a 7-game hitting streak going for Stanford. And here comes Malcolm Moore. Another look at that single. That's now 14 hits tonight for Stanford. Every batter has at least one in their lineup. Malcolm Moore has 2, including a home run, his 13th of the year. That came in the 4th inning. Rips that on the ground to first. Nice backhand by Schultz. Gets the lead runner at second base. And Moore is aboard on the fielder's choice. That was a nice play by Schultz. It's also not easy to make that throw when you've got the base runner sort of in the path. But he found the angle to get it to his shortstop, Mutsaritas. 1 out now, and here's Jimmy Nadai. Nadai, an RBI double in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3. 1-0. Nadai, sophomore from Sydney, Australia. Moved to Atlanta when he was 6. Started playing baseball. Grounds that one through for a base hit. The hits keep coming for the Cardinal. Their 15th of the night. And now 2 on for the number 6 hitter, Brandon Larson. So not only does every Cardinal starter have a base hit, 5 of them have multi-hit games already. Ethan Hott with 3, and then McDonald, Moore, Nadai, and Larson with 2 each. A swing and a miss from Larson for strike 1. Larson, a home run in the 4th inning, RBI single in the 5th. That's his average at .262 for the season. The 0-1. On the ground to second. Can they turn 2? Advincula the flip. And no throw back to first. Another fielder's choice. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Cal was in that defensive shift, which can make it a little bit tougher to turn a double play. So the inning continues for Jake Sapien. He was 1 for 3 with a single, drove in a run as well in the 5th inning on a fielder's choice. Check swing, it's a strike anyway. 0-1. Sapien, the junior from Atwater. 3-sport athlete in high school, played basketball and water polo as well as baseball. Quickly 0-2. It's a young Stanford team for the most part. I mean, again, we talk about the 9 guys they had drafted last year. Braden Montgomery, of course, transferring to Texas A&M. And that is strike 3 called. Christian Becerra makes quick work of Jake Sapien. And a nice job by the Cal righty. Put up a 0 in the 6th. 7-5 Stanford.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for
Medium rare.
Hi.
Chocolate.
Deep tissue.
Or just buy them already.
Omakase. Lady freaking Gaga?
You know who loves you? MGM, baby.
We're heading to the 7th inning at Sunken Diamond. Stanford leading Cal 7-5. Trevor Moore back out there for the Cardinal. He got the last 2 outs of the 6th inning in relief of Matt Scott, who's trying to pick up his 4th win of the year if the Cardinal can hold on to this lead. Cal built a 4-0 lead in this game before Stanford got 2 in the 4th and then 5 in the 5th. We'll see if Cal can answer back. Max Handren, Seth Gwynn, and Jag Burden due up. Cal trying to extend their 9-game winning streak. They've won 6 in a row in conference play. They need some late magic tonight. First pitch outside to Handren. He's looking for his first hit. 0 for 3, trying to extend a 19-game on-base streak. High chopper up the middle. This might do it. Into center field for a base hit. He's reached base safely in 20 consecutive games. And Cal once again will bring the tying run to the plate. And it's the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week, Seth Gwynn. Gwynn 2 for 3 with an RBI single in this game. He's got his average all the way up to 327 now. He's 11 for his last 19 over the past 5 games. Moore takes a look over at Handren at first. Moderate lead. And comes to the plate outside for ball 1. Gwynn was 6 for 12 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs last week against Oregon State. That got him the Player of the Week nod. As that one in the dirt, Moore blocks it down and keeps Handren at first base. Well, Malcolm Moore has really improved defensively as a catcher. He came in as already a great bat out of Sacramento, but he's turned into a really good two-way catcher. That's in there for a strike. Malcolm Moore, freshman of the year last year in the Pac-12, as a check on Handren at first. Stanford looking to move above 500 in Pac-12 play. They're 9-9 coming in. Cal at 11-10. And a big swing and a miss to even the count. Bears won the first matchup in Berkeley in early March, 5-0. That was a non-conference game. So obviously more at stake this weekend as the count runs full on Seth Gwynn. Jag Burden will hit next. Handren does not have a stolen base attempt this year. We'll see if he's in motion on 3-2. He's not. And it's ball 4 outside. First 2 runners reach base here in the top of the 7th. So Cal threatening again as Jag Burden comes up, representing the potential go-ahead run at the plate. Burden looking for his first hit. He struck out in the 2nd, lined out in the 4th, flied out in the 5th, hitting .281. And he's showing bunt, popped up, and caught by Moore. That's a huge first out. So Burden unable to advance the runners. And now here comes Nico Button. As you see, Torrin O'Haron starting to loosen up for Stanford. He's been their de facto closer this year. 5 saves to lead the team. But they might not be able to wait till the 9th inning if there's a high leverage situation. especially with the top of the order right around the corner. Nico Button's been on base all 3 times tonight. Couple of singles and a walk. Drove in 2 runs. Nice breaking ball for strike 1. So again, Button hasn't played a ton this year. This is just his 8th start. But he's been productive. 10 hits and 26 at-bats. As he takes a fastball up. One on the way. In there. 1-2. 92 miles per hour from Trevor Moore. Lined foul. And the count holds at 1-2. Button, a junior from San Mateo, went to Serra High School. He was the valedictorian there. And again, he's been productive in limited action this year for the Bears. The 1-2. Fouled off again. We figure he's got some confidence right now at the plate with the 2 hits and the walk tonight. Handren on second base, Gwynn on first. 1 out. Another 1-2 pitch. Able to lay off, and Moore with another block. They check down to third just to make sure, but no swing, says Randy Sutton. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 25th pitch for Trevor Moore. Breaking ball just missed. The Cardinal players in the dugout wanted that one. But a full count with P.J. Moutsouridis on deck. Payoff pitch. Up the middle. Backhanded by Cobb. The flip to second is not in time. Everybody's safe. And Cal has loaded the bases. Great hustle by Seth Gwynn to beat the throw. It'll go as a base hit. And Nico Button now 3 for 3 in the game. Well, let's see if they're going to take another look at this one. Umpires are coming together. And we are going to get a challenge from Stanford. Well, you're in the 7th inning. It's a big spot, so I think worth the risk if you're David Esker, and it was a close play at the bag. They'll take another look at this one. Call on the field was safe. Of course, that's always important as we take another look ourselves. I'll tell you, Cobb has shown some nice range in this game. On that look, I think it was the right call on the field. The flip, maybe just a little too much loft on it. Didn't quite get to Haskins quickly enough. And again, Gwynn hustling the whole way. We'll look at it one more time. And they've already made their ruling. Call stands. With that ball in the air, too, Gwynn read it perfectly. Knew that it was going to get down on a hop, so he didn't have to worry about being doubled off first base. As a conference on the mound for the Cardinal, Thomas Eager, the pitching coach, out there discussing things with Trevor Moore in the infield. And it doesn't look like anyone's all that ready to come in right now for the Cardinals, so I think this is just a discussion. And we'll see Moore remain in the game to face P.J. Moutsouridis. Second straight inning, Cal has had the bases loaded. Moore was able to get out of the jam in the 6th. See if he can do it again. Mutsaritas 1 for 4 on the night. He had an RBI double in the 4th inning. Freshman batting .327 on the year, 5 homes. Hit rival. A swing and a miss. Mutsaritas now with 32 hits in Pac-12 play to lead the conference. In the air to right field. Chasing it down is McDonald. He's there. Tagging from third is Handren. The throw goes to third. And the run comes in to score. Gwynn moves up to third base. So a productive out for Mutsaritas. Cal is back within a run. And now with 2 outs, the batter will be Jaron Advincula. Well, that extra 90 feet from Gwynn moving from second to third might not seem like a lot with 2 outs, but it definitely puts a lot more pressure on Malcolm Moore behind the plate to keep anything in front of him. Obviously, a wild pitch would now tie this game. And you got a speedy hitter in Advincula. It also means that an infield single could tie the game. First pitch. Bends in there for a strike. Advincula 3 for 4 with 3 singles. He now has the best average on the team at .346. The 0-1. Another breaking ball on the corner. 0-2. Well, we mentioned it earlier. Advincula is a tough guy to strike out. He's only gone down on strikes 12 times all year. But he's in a hole here, 0-2. Can he battle out of it? The pitch. Swung on and missed. A rare strikeout of Jaron Advincula. And Trevor Moore able to hang on to the lead. Cal gets 1, but they trail by 1 as we stretch on the farm. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning at Klein Field. Let's take another look at that strikeout to end the top of the 7th. A rare K for Jaron Advincula, who couldn't hold up on the high heat from Trevor Moore. Only the 13th time that Advincula has struck out all year in 153, make it 154 at bats. So Cal does get 1 run back, and they're within 1. Cardinal looking for some insurance here. Trevor Haskins leads things off. And it's 0-1. Christian Becerra still in the game for Cal. This is his 3rd inning out of the bullpen. As you see, Haskins 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th. 1-1 now. 6 runs on 13 hits for Cal. 7 runs on 15 hits for Stanford. And a swing and a miss. 1-2. It'll be Haskins, Timo Becerra, and then back to the top of the order for Owen Cobb. Becerra trying to keep this a 1-run game. And he gets a strikeout. 91 miles an hour. Becerra now with 4 Ks in 2 1/3 innings of work. He has done a really nice job for Mike New out of the bullpen. Has not allowed a run. Keeping Cal within striking distance. And here comes Timo Becerra. Becerra singled his first time up in the 3rd inning. He popped out in the 4th, struck out in the 5th. 1 for 3 tonight. Long look in from Becerra, now ready. And a swing and a miss. So we have another Becerra versus Becerra matchup. And it looks like his pitch comm came out, so he's going to have to readjust that. He got pitch comm at every level now, not just the big leagues, the minors, college. 1-1 on Timo Becerra. Timo Becerra, junior from Clovis, Buchanan High School. Ropes that to left field. Long run for Burden. He won't get there. Extra bases as Becerra cruises into second with a one-out double. That's his second hit of the night. Stanford now with 16. And 6 different Cardinal players have multi-hit games. A 100 miles per hour was the exit velocity on that one. As it'll now go back to the top of the order for Owen Cobb. Having a discussion before this at bat. David Esker in the mix there. Legendary Cardinal coach. Of course, he coached Cal for 18 years as well. I don't know if there's anyone more familiar with this rivalry on the baseball field. Now the home plate umpire, Patrick Riley, says, hey, I want to get involved too. What are we talking about? Dinner? Drinks after the game? It's Friday night. Game 2 not till 4 o'clock tomorrow. So a big at bat coming for Owen Cobb, who has a double and a walk in 4 plate appearances. He's 1 for 3 officially. .297 batting average on the year, 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. The grad student from Seattle takes a breaking ball for a strike. Cobb, all-conference honorable mention last year. He was sort of a pleasant surprise, I think, for a lot of people. He was, for most of the year, the number 9 hitter on a deep Stanford team. Lofts that one to left center field. It's in the ballpark. Burden calls off Green and makes the catch. And keeps Becerra at second base. 2 away. Here's Ethan Hott, who's had a big game tonight. 3 for 4. And Ethan indeed has been hot. Batting .365 in Pac-12 play. 3 singles, a run scored, and a strikeout on the night. And Christian Becerra now up to 52 pitches. There is some action in the Cal bullpen, and we'll see if he gets another hitter. He's trying to get through 3 innings of relief. He will face Hott. Breaking ball low and away. One and one. Timo Becerra on second base. Christian Becerra on the mound. 2 out. Stanford up 7-6. And a fastball high and away. Well, Becerra has thrown as many as 82 pitches this year, as he's now behind 3-1. So he's certainly capable. He's been a starter. Court McDonald would hit next. The 3-1 pitch is ball 4. So what a night for Ethan Hott. He's on base for the 4th time. And the inning continues for McDonald. McDonald 2 for 4, had a 2-run double in the 5th, a single in the 6th. And now a visit out of the Cal dugout to the mound. Let's see if this is all for Becerra. It appears that it will be. So Christian Becerra did a really nice job. 57 pitches coming in relief of Luke Short, who was the bulk man tonight. Move hasn't officially been made yet, but you can see it looks like it's coming. And now the official call to the bullpen. So Tom Mayer coming in for Cal. We'll tell you about him when we come back. Cardinal up 7-6.
You really have to be determined and have that athlete's mindset.
Every day coming in, doing what you got to do, giving 100%.
And you're certainly not going to win just on your ranking. You got to bring it.
That's just really what separates being good from being great.
Let's go. Set your jaw. Time to go to work.
It is one of the most amazing scenes in all of college athletics.
It was a brilliant display of competitiveness, and that's what this play stands for.
The things that they battled through, and to come out here and have a dominating performance, it means something.
I love this. I want to go back to college.
Have we got a treat for you today?
This is a monster waiting to explode.
Tyler Stasiowski is the new pitcher for Cal. 3-1, a 3.22 earned run average, 33 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings pitched. He's one of the high leverage guys in Mike New's bullpen, a preseason All Pac-12 selection, and he is living up to it. The senior from Sebastopol, now in his second year at Cal, came over from Santa Rosa Junior College. And so Stasiowski, who actually leads the team with 3 saves, will try and keep this at a 1-run deficit. They'll be facing Court McDonald with 2 on and 2 out. Stanford up 7-6. And Stasiowski, the 4th pitcher of the night for Cal. It was Turkington who opened. Luke Short went 3. Christian Becerra 2 2/3 scoreless, although he is still responsible for the 2 runners on base right now. So Stasiowski trying to strand those runners against McDonald. No easy task. The leading batting average on the Stanford team at .345, 2 for 4 tonight. And a foul tip on strike 1. Becerra on second, hot on first. The 0-1. Pulled foul, 0-2. You see the defensive alignment for Cal. Another shift. We've seen this from both teams a lot tonight. So there's a big hole on the left side of the infield, as the 0-2 pitch is fouled straight back. McDonald, as we mentioned, batting .345 on the year. He's got 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Another 0-2. Pop up, shallow left center field. Going out is the shortstop, Moutsaritas, and he's there to end the inning. Nice job by Stasiowski. Strands a pair. We're heading to the 8th. Buckle up. It's going to be a good finish. Stanford clinging to a 1-run lead, 7-6 over their rival Cal, as we head to the 8th inning. And the heart of the order coming up for the Golden Bears: Caleb Lomavita, Rodney Green Jr., and Peyton Schultz, as Trevor Moore will be back on the hill to start this inning for the Cardinal. He's gone 1 2/3, 1 run allowed, couple of strikeouts and 2 walks. And here's the dangerous Caleb Lomavita. 1 for 4 tonight, 341 average with 12 home runs and 45 RBIs. As you see, the two talented catchers sharing a quick word before this big at bat. Both projected as possible first-round picks in July's MLB draft. And a big swing and a foul from Lomavita. Well, Malcolm Moore has homered tonight for Stanford. That was his 13th of the year. Lomavita has 12, both of them in the top 5 in the Pac-12. 0-1 from Moore. 0-2. Lomavita, the junior from Hawaii. Been all Pac-12 both his first 2 years, preseason All-American this year. 35 career home runs at Cal. And on 3 pitches, he's down on strikes. Trevor Moore picks up his 3rd strikeout. And that's a big first out in this 8th inning. Now here's Rodney Green Jr. And let's see if he's going to face Moore or someone out of the Cardinal bullpen, as we're going to get a conference on the mound. Again, tough to tell because it's Thomas Eager who comes out every time, but he did make the call to the bullpen. And so Stanford will turn to their closer. Torin O'Haron will be the man coming in, trying to protect a 1-run lead. Perhaps looking for a 5-out save tonight. We'll step aside, be back right after this. Stanford up 7-6. Here's Torin O'Haron coming into the game for Stanford. The 6'1 sophomore from Rockland High School. Member of the Rockland High Hall of Fame. In his 18th appearance this season, you see the numbers, 1 and 2. A 4.18 earned run average. Leads the team with 5 saves. That ranks 6th in the Pac-12. 36 strikeouts and 20 walks. And he'll try and at least get out of this 8th inning. 1 away, no one on. And going against the dangerous Rodney Green Jr., who's got 11 home runs this year. 1 for 2 in this game with a double and a sac fly. He walked his last time up intentionally. And this should be a great matchup. Rodney Green Jr., another guy who very well could be a high draft pick this year. So O'Haron, we'll see if he is asked to go 5 outs tonight. I think a lot of it will probably have to do with how these next 2 batters go. If he can get a couple of quick outs here, then certainly no reason not to bring him back in the 9th. Green has other ideas as he comes to the plate, representing the tying run for Cal. Bears trying to extend a 9-game winning streak, but they need some late offense if they're going to do it. Here's the first pitch to Green. In there for a strike. Green, preseason All Pac-12, on the Golden Spikes watch list. First team All-Conference last year. Able to lay off 1-1. Again, Green got off to a slow start this year, but he's really starting to heat up at the right time for Cal. Has the average up to 259 after he was in the low 200s for a lot of the season. The 1-1. Popped up, foul territory. Becerra giving it a look, but it gets out of play. You always hold your breath here with all the foul ground on the infield. Even if it looks like it's heading for the seats, you never know. As Fenn gets a souvenir, 1-2. Now 2-2. Green does strike out a lot. He has gone down 58 times on strikes this year. Second most in the Pac-12. He also walks a lot. 32 bases on balls. And this time it's a strikeout. Had him out in front of the changeup at 76 miles an hour. And Torin O'Haron recording a big second out here in the 8th inning. So now Peyton Schultz, 1 for 3 with a double and a walk tonight. 325 hitter with 5 homers. Looks at ball 1. Schultz, the Long Beach State transfer in his second year at Cal. Takes a fastball at 93, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. That one at 95 from Torin O'Haron. The Stanford bullpen has some hard throwers toward the back end. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled that one off his foot. And he'll try and walk it off. That one never feels good. I remember the first time I heard the comparison, I can't remember who made it, but they said that fouling a ball off your foot like that feels like dropping about a 16-pound bowling ball right on your toe. So he'll take an extra second. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the junior Schultz. Here's the pitch. Full count, 3-2. Max Handren waiting on deck. If Schultz can extend the inning. Cal trailing by 1 in the 8th. And a little outside for ball 4. So Schultz aboard for the 3rd time tonight. He represents the tying run. You see him still kind of feeling the effects of that foul ball. See if we might get a pinch runner here for Cal. And I think we are going to. With Handren coming to the plate, let's see who's going to go out to first base. That's Joey Donnelly, the junior from Concord, who will pinch run. So he represents the tying run. Peyton Schultz gets some high fives as he jogs back to the dugout. And here's Max Handren, who singled his last time up to extend his on-base streak to 20 consecutive games. Handren 1 for 4, batting .255. 5 home runs on the year. Little low for ball 1. Handren, one of 5 Cal players picked to the preseason all-conference team. Senior from Sonoma. The 1-0. In there, 1-1. Handren homered last game for Cal on Tuesday night at UOP. A swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Bears have had the late inning magic often during this 9-game winning streak. Pulled to the right side and past the diving Cobb into right field. Donnelly will stop at second. And the inning continues. The tying run in scoring position. Go-ahead run on first base. And the reigning Pac-12 Player of the Week, Seth Gwynn, coming to the plate. Boy, the Golden Bears have been threatening. Both of these teams have left 11 runners on base tonight. They've had a lot of opportunities. They've cashed in on some. The pitchers have won other battles. And this becomes the biggest at bat of the night to this point. As Gwynn 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a walk, and an RBI. That's a strike. I think it was a called strike. Maybe that's what Gwynn is asking the home plate umpire, Patrick Riley, as it was a check swing as well. Either way, it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. 93 miles an hour from Torin O'Haron. And he's in the driver's seat. Donnelly on second, Hendren on first. The 0-2 pitch to Gwynn. Low and away. Gwynn hitting .327 on the year, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. He had 3 homers last series against Oregon State. And now the count even 2-2. Strike 3 called. Torin O'Haron gets out of the jam with a strikeout. Cal has left 13 runners on base, and Stanford maintains a 1-run lead. Bottom of the 8th inning at Sunken Diamond. Stanford still leading Cal 7-6. Cal had a chance to tie it or take the lead in the top half, but a perfect fastball from Torin O'Haron right on the outside corner, able to get Seth Gwynn and strand a couple more runners. Cal has left 13 on base tonight. Stanford has left 11. You talk about traffic on the base paths. I guess that's what happens when you have 30 combined hits. 14 for Cal, 16 for Stanford. And now Malcolm Moore leads things off. He takes low. Tyler Stasiowski remains in the game for Cal. Got the last out of the 7th inning. As Moore launched his 13th home run earlier tonight. He's 2 for 4. 2-0. Moore, another guy who got off to a little bit of a slow start this year, but he has really heated up. Hitting .252, on base percentage of .424, thanks to 33 walks. That's in there for a strike. Here's a look at Moore's 13th home run of the season earlier tonight off Luke Short. A lefty-lefty matchup. And he just hooked it out of here. That one popped up. High in the air behind second base. Drifting over to make the catch is Moutsouridis for out number 1. So that's a big out for Stasiowski. Not just the leadoff man, but a dangerous power hitter and more. And here's Jimmy Nadai. Stasiowski trying to keep this a 1-run game. Cal will have Jag Burden, Nico Button, and PJ Moutsouridis due up in the top of the 9th. As you see, Nadai with a couple of hits in this game. A swing and a miss. One way or another to allow the runner to advance. Might be an infield single as well. Do have a defensive change at first base for Cal. That's Dominic Smaldino, who's into the game. Remember, Peyton Schultz came out for a pinch runner in the top half. He was unable to make the pick on the throw in the dirt. And so that's just going to be a straight 2-base error. First error committed by either team tonight. And now the batter is Brandon Larson. 0-1. Larson, a home run tonight. Back in the 4th inning, also an RBI single in the 5th. He's 2 for 4. Looking to add a big insurance run for the Cardinal. Quickly 0-2. That's the 9th error of the year, by the way, for Max Handren. And made a great play to snag it behind the bag. Just couldn't get the throw there. Runner takes off for third. It's swung on and missed for strike 3. And a stolen base for Nadai. Now, did that ball hit the ground? Larson is staying at first base, and Mike New wants an explanation from Patrick Riley. That could be a dropped third strike, which would be huge, because if Larson reaches, you've got runners on the corners and only 1 out. So the umpires are going to come together. We'll take another look at it. I don't know. It looks to me like that ball was not in the dirt, but they are giving Larson first base. And I'm not sure if Cal can challenge that play or not. So you've now got runners on first and third, 1 out. That's huge, as Stanford looks to add on to this 1-run lead. And here's Jake Sapien at the plate. It's a squeeze, runner coming home, he'll score. Executed to perfection by the Cardinal. And Larson moves into scoring position as well. A sacrifice for Sapien and RBI. And it's 8-6 Stanford. So that wasn't just a safety squeeze. The runner Nadai was coming down the line from third, and Sapien able to lay it down and get the job done. As Trevor Haskins now up. First pitch, center field and pretty deep. Green gets there, and just in front of the warning track makes the catch. But a big insurance run for the Cardinal. We're heading to the 9th. Stanford up 8-6. We've reached the 9th inning at Stanford. The Cardinal trying to end Cal's 9-game winning streak. They got a big insurance run in the 8th inning on this squeeze play. The bunt laid down perfectly. And an RBI for Jake Sapien as Nadai came home. So the Cardinal with a 2-run lead and 3 more outs to get. Torrin O'Haron remains in the game as the pitcher to try and get this 5-out save. Looking for his 6th save of the year, and the batters due up for Cal are Jag Burden, Nico Button, and PJ Moutsouridis, but we're going to get a pinch hitter for Burden. This is Carson Crawford, who's going to bat to lead things off for the Golden Bears. A junior from Rohnert Park steps in and fouls the first pitch off. Crawford, a .211 hitter, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. Just trying to get on base. Cal needs to get a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. As a 93-mile-an-hour fastball misses high from O'Haron. Stanford 8 runs on 16 hits tonight. Cal 6 runs on 14 hits, 1 error. And a swing and a miss, 1-2. O'Haron picked up a couple of strikeouts last inning. He got the final 2 outs of the 8th. And he has another strikeout here. First out of the 9th inning. And here comes Nico Button. O'Haron has struck out all 3 batters he's retired in this game. He's now got 39 Ks and 29 innings for the year. As Button steps in, and a swing and a miss. Button's been on base all 4 times tonight. 3 singles and a walk. He's driven in a couple of runs as well. As the count now 1-1. Button 11 for 27 on the year. A home run and 6 RBIs. Just his 8th start. As that one bends in for a strike, 1-2. Torin O'Haron looking for his 6th save of the year. And a foul back to the screen. Cal led this game 4-0 in the 4th inning. Stanford got 2 runs back in the 4th. Cal made it 5-2 in the 5th, and then Stanford erupted for 5 in the bottom of the 5th. As that misses a little high and away. 2-2. Cardinal have gotten home runs from Malcolm Moore and Brandon Larson tonight. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Nico Button doesn't like it, but he's retired for the first time tonight. And the Golden Bears are down to their final out. Player of the game tonight, Malcolm Moore. What a season he's had. What a game he had with the home run. Some good defense behind the plate. Our Rawlings player of the game is the All-American catcher. First pitch swinging, P.J. Moutsouridis. This could be it. Ethan Hott in center is under it, and Stanford takes game 1. The Cardinal end Cal's 9-game winning streak, and they're dancing in the outfields. The final score, 8-6, as Stanford gets to 18-21 on the season, 10-9, above 500 in the Pac-12. Cal falls to 25-15 overall, 11-11 in conference play. And again, they see their 9-game winning streak come to an end. Final totals for Cal: 6 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, 13 left on base. For Stanford, 8 runs, 16 hits, no errors. The win to Matt Scott. He's 4-6. Luke Short takes the loss. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Pac-12 Network. This is Ben Ross saying so long from Stanford.